YouTube, what's popping? This your boy Ink in the Brain, and we back at it like a bad habit, man. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. All right, so today I'm talking to the youth. All right, I'm talking about shooters on the streets, but when things go left and you gotta go sit down for the crimes you've been committing, now all of a sudden, you tuck your tail. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden you tuck your tail like a feline. So we gonna get into it, man. And again, this is for educational purposes only. I'm sharing my prison experience with y'all so y'all can learn from my experience, because you don't want to go to jail, you don't want to go to prison, you don't want to spend years of your life doing time in the penitentiary over some dumb stuff that could have been avoided. All right. Now, a lot of this has to do with ego, the male ego and pride. You feel me? And also, to a lesser degree, in my opinion, wanting to impress your peers when you're young, right? So, personally, I mean, I'm from the Bay Area, right? Now, I had both my parents growing up. They still together right now. So I grew up in a stable household, and to some degree, I was sheltered from a lot of violence, gunplay, shooting. You know what I mean? I didn't really experience a lot of crazy stuff growing up, right? Up until I got my driver's license and I got my first car. I think I was like 16 or 17. And then I started messing with my cousins, right? I got a cousin from East Oakland. I started rocking with him. I started driving to East Oakland. I'm fucking with him. My other girl cousin too, off 106 in Bancroft. My girl cousin, she from 106 in Bancroft. I used to go rock over there with her. You feel me? And then my other cousin, he from the Dirty 30s. He from 38th and Avalon, some shit like that. So I'm going into town, right? And then I got another cousin in Vallejo. Well, he's from San Francisco, but he stayed in Vallejo. I used to go fucking in Vallejo, and then he moved to Fairfield. I started fucking in Fairfield, right? So now I'm going to different cities, and I'm catching wind of what's going on around me, right, in different cities, right? And there's some things going on in the streets, man. So, I'm dealing with niggas who selling drugs now, like after I get my car, because, Fridays and Saturdays and Sunday, like my parents was cool. They used to let me rock. As long as I did my homework and all that shit, they weren't really tripping. So I'm going into town, I'm going to the V and shit. And I'm seeing what's going on around me, right? So you got youngsters selling drugs. You got youngsters robbing people. You also got youngsters who are shooting people. Like there was when I went to go to Fairfield one time and fuck with my cousin, right? There was this nigga from Richmond. His name is Sean
Yeah. No.
This nigga was a beast. This nigga was a beast. He was already a shooter. He done been shot and all this shit, right? He rocking out. He's like 17, 18 years old. So I meet bro and shit, and I'm like, damn, I'm seeing how you rocking, you feel me? And it just kind of, as a kid, it makes you kind of want to be like them to a certain degree if you've been sheltered from it, because you see his status, and Bader's had bitches and shit, you feel me? So it's like damn, like how can I get on this level, right? And then I knew niggas who was pimping. I knew some P's, you feel me? My big brody Fats was sending bitches at like 17 years old. We went to high school together. And so I'm like, okay, so now when I get my whip and shit, I'm meeting people, I'm messing with my cousins and them people's, shooters, robbers, drug dealers, pimps. So now I'm like, damn. And they got everything moving for them. Because like I said, they got all the women, they got money, they dress and fly, they drive nice whips and shit. So to a certain degree, your subconscious wants to be like them. Now, I'm not going to drag this video on that point, but just know that in my subconscious mind, I kind of want to be like them, which led me to try to be something I'm not, all right? So, for the youth, I want to let y'all know, man, it's okay to be yourself, man. If you a square, that's fine. You know what I mean? A square A square isn't a bad thing. You're just on a straight and narrow path. You feel me? That doesn't mean that you're necessarily game goofy, or that doesn't mean that you're a simp. It just, you're a square, and that's fine, right? This is the point of this video. I want y'all to be comfortable with yourselves, and just know that your masculinity doesn't depend on what somebody else thinks about you, especially if it's another man. So you don't have to impress your peers, and if your partner, who's with it, tells you, he wants to recruit you to go on a skit with him, you don't gotta go on that skit with him, bro. You know what I mean? It's a one-way ticket to the penitentiary. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna take y'all back to the 2-yard, right? So, all right, so I'm on the 2-yard in Yuma still, right? So, and if y'all been catching up on my story, you know what's going on. So I'm rocking with Hot Dog, my OGP partner. I'm rocking with my youngster who's running the pod in building. I was in 4. I think he was in building 6 or 8. No, I think it was 6 though. But he running that shit, and like I told you on one of my last videos, I'm in there politicking with him, but he running prison politics like it's a damn 4-yard. He checking niggas' paperwork. He DPing niggas. He on the lookout to make sure that people don't rat if they got beat up and had a swole face. You know what I mean? So he really politicking, man. So I'm like, all right, so boom. So I'm getting comfortable now with doing my time on a 2-yard, and it was a big adjustment for me because 2 yards, minimum custody, are some bullshit yards. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Like, not on the sense of like, okay, like you wanna be on a 2-yard because you're not gonna get killed on a 2-yard. Chances are, riots can happen. There's maybe a 10% chance a riot can happen on a 2-yard, but on a 2-yard, it's daycare. You know what I mean? So, and I just hated it because I'm a big bad tough guy, because I'm not. But the pettiness, the COs tell me to put my shirt on, they're forcing you to work, and all this shit, you feel me? I just wasn't rocking with it. They could have left me on the 3-yard, But yeah, man, so I'm on the 2, man. I'm rocking, and I'm just starting to get comfortable now. And this is like my 3rd weekend. I finally hit store. So I got on store. I'm like, all right, cool. But then my celly, OG Pimp partner, my OGP partner, Hot Dog, they moved him into another building and gave him his own cell. So, which is what is it called? I forget what they call it. But you have your own bed and your own desk, and you don't have a celly. So they moved him to a single man cell, I'll just call it, right? So, and then they moved this other dude from Tucson who just came down from a 3-yard into my cell. And these motherfuckers wouldn't let me move down to the bottom because I'm on the top bunk. So when they moved Hot Dog on the other side of the yard, I just automatically put my stuff, I put my mat down and put my TV down, because on a 3-yard, that's what happens. Like on a 3-yard, if you're on the upper and your celly go home or get transferred out, you can just move down, it ain't no problem. So I just assume the same shit on a 2-yard. So Hot Dog go on the other side, I move my shit down, and then a CO come over, call me by my last name when it come to count. You're supposed to be on the upper. Why are you on the upper? Motherfucker, my celly just went to the other side of the yard. I can't go on the bottom. No, we didn't approve that. So move your stuff up there. We got somebody else coming like tomorrow or next day on the bottom. I'm like, what the fuck? So y'all, I hated the 2-yard. I swear to goodness, I wish they would have just let me on a 3. Like, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so I'm just gonna fast forward, right? Because I'm not trying to drag this video too long, right? So they ended up transferring me to another 2-yard in Winslow. Okay, so I'm in Yuma, which is the hottest city in Arizona, on the border of Mexico. One day they're doing count. The CO come through and said, "Hey, call me up on my last name." Yeah, roll it up. Yeah, you in transit in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck? I just got here. Yeah. You going to another yard. Why? They selected you for a work release program. I'm like, what? Now it sounds good. They selected you for a work program, right? A work release program. So, you know, your average person who just, I can go here. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not working for you niggas. I got workouts to do. I got 2 days, twice a week. And then the other days of the week, I'm working out once a day. I don't want nothing to impede on my workout program. Like my workout program and my TV got me through my whole bid. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 with you. And books. On a side note, yeah, you can do 2 years easily. Easy. If you watch TV, read books, and work out. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Maybe I'll do a whole video on that because I need to elaborate on that. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't got no choice. I can't refuse it. You feel me? So, I mean, I guess I could in theory, but why run my points up and you know, so. All right, so boom. Now, I also touched on this in a previous video. I think I called it Doing Time with Pimping and how the world is small in prison, right? Now, that's when they took us from Yuma to Buckeye, Sadison, and Sallyport. I seen Brody next to me who was a Hoover. He had the Hoover tats on his face and had this shit whacked on his face. Come to find out, Hot Dog told me about him. He did time with him back in like 08 or some shit like that. Come to find out this is Brody, and I meet Brody, and I'm like I'm piecing it together like, damn, this is Lil Richie Rich. So boom. So we go to Winslow, right? We go to the 4 yard in Winslow. We drop Lil Richie Rich off there. We get out. They do some little test on us. You feel me? We all shackled up and shit. We drop Richie Rich off at the 4 yard. And now we go into the 2 yard in Winslow. Long drive, painful transit, back hurting, terrible. I would actually say that transit is probably my worst prison experience. When I encompass everything, that transit is no joke. Imagine being sitting down like this, shackled up. All you can do is move your head and move your back, but you're like this for like 6 hours. You can't move. Your back is gonna be hurt, bro. Transit's trapped. All right, so boom. So we go to Winslow. They take us to Apache unit, which is a 2 yard. Yo, we pull up this 2 yard. Now, mind you, I'm accustomed to the 3 yard, and I've been on the other 2 yard for like 3 or 4 weeks, right? But we pull up to Apache, yo, we pulled up, it was like maybe 7 of us at that time. I think it was 8 of us, and then we dropped off Lil Richie Rich at the 4 yard. The rest of us went to the 2, so I think it was like 7 of us, maybe it was 6 or 7, right? We pull up, I said, what the hell is this bullshit? We pull to the yard, I can just tell it's a very small yard, very small. The people outside at rec, nope, it was like maybe 8 people outside. It just looked crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? So I knew this yard was bullshit, and this yard, y'all, was bullshit. I'm gonna tell y'all why this yard was bullshit, and then come in videos. All right, boom. So I get housed. I'm in building. It's four buildings on Apache. So I've been building 4. 2 sides, so yeah, 4B. I think I'm in 4B. So I go in, and I actually mentioned dude on the previous video too, Ian, or they call him E. He just did 12 years. Real nice brother. Help me set my bed sheets around my mattress and shit. He had just got done. He was just doing wrapping up 12 years. Got released and caught another drug and heroin and fentanyl case. And he back booked now, and he gonna have to do about another 18 years now. So, which blew my mind when I found about that. But anyway, and then I meet my other Brody. This dude, maybe I'm not gonna get into him, but I meet the brothers, right? So I'm like, all right. So then time goes on. I'm like, this yard is trash. The TV channels ain't the same, so I can't watch my same channels. So I'm like, I hate this yard with a passion. The second day, because I hooked up my TV that night and I'm changing the channels, and I realized my channels ain't on. I'm like, oh no, y'all. So I had to get adjusted, man. Yeah, man. So what I want to touch on, right, is I met a youngster, right? He down for a shooting slash robbery. Youngster, he was like 20, I'm gonna just call him T. He was like 23 years old. He had been down like 5 years. And he had like 2 more to go, right? After it's all said and done, right? I think he's still in the yard right now, right? Now, okay, cool. So, and you know, and we talking, we rocking a little bit, even though he didn't work out a lot. He didn't work out at all, which I didn't respect. Like, I don't respect people who don't work out in prison. That's just me. So I wouldn't fuck with him like that. But in passing, we would say what's up, and then they actually moved me to another building. I got moved like 6 times on this yard. So they moved me one time in his building, and I was actually across from him. He was in the cell there, and then there's a walkway, and I happened to be in the other one. So we in between the walkway and shit. So we started chopping up and shit. I find out that what he's down for, like I said, it was an armed robbery turned bad. He shot dude in the leg. Dude told on him. He got like 9 years. And so I'm like, okay, so you a shooter and a robber on the streets. Okay, cool. You know, and he talking, you know, he talking greasy, you feel me? Like pretty much about like how much money he was getting on the streets, and he showed me pictures. Now he was fly as hell. He in designer, Jordans all the time. You know what I mean? Fly as shit. And I fuck with it because, you know, I would like to say that I'm a fly dude too. So I fly respect fly. So I'm like, okay, I see, you know, you drippy on the streets and you a shooter on the streets. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so fast forward, right? So this is what happened. His cousin hit the yard. His cousin doing like a 15-year bid and finally then bumped his points down to a 2-yard, right? So he on the yard now. And what happens is he's trying to get tatted. Now, there's 2 tat men on the yard at this time. There's a white tat man and a Mexican tat man. Now, the Mexicans on this yard don't have a problem with tatting blacks because the politics, it's a 2-yard. Who gives a fuck? Everybody got less than 5 years, so we're not really running politics like that. You know what I mean? To that degree. Now, on a 3-yard, 4-yard, a Chicano or a Paisa can't tat a black. It just don't really happen. Like, well, actually, I lie. It could happen. It could happen, but usually that's considered going against the grain for them, the Mexicans. You feel me? I've even seen a white tattoo artist tattoo a black, and it wasn't as bad as the Chicanos. But that's neither here nor there, right? So, bro, touchdown. He trying to get tatted, and he getting tatted by the Mexican cat, and you know, so he's doing numerous sessions, right? Now, it was like the second to last session that he was gonna get, because there's only so much work you can do because, like, during the day, the COs, you know, they do their rounds and they'll walk in the building, walk up the run, make sure there's no blood on the ground, make sure, you feel me, just regular shit. So he's in the middle of getting tatted up. Now, bro, shooter on the streets is supposed to keep a lookout, right? So he's outside the building. So on this particular day when he getting tatted, bro's outside the building. You know, he's looking out. Anytime the cops come around, he yelled through the window one time, and then anytime, if you've been down before, you know what that means. So they call out one time, and then that way they can put the tattoo gun up. The person who's getting tatted could just sit on the chair, look like he's watching TV with his partner or something like that, and it's all good. So what happens is, dude get caught slipping. So he's outside. Now he's posted up. You know, he's keeping point. But he gets distracted. I guess it may have been a long tattoo session. I wasn't there personally to see this, but this is what I heard, right? So he getting tatted, he get comfortable, and he like, man, fuck it. I'm about to go hop on the phone, call my peoples real quick. Because I've been posting here for maybe 2 hours or something like that, and it's all good. Shit, fuck it. Somebody else will call one time anyway. Somebody come, you know what I mean? So he go to the phones, he hop on the phone. Man, this nigga stay on the phone for like 45 minutes. Man, the police pull up. Police walk in. Nobody calls out one time. and they see him getting tatted. So the police basically take the now peep what's going on, y'all. This is a Mexican tatting a black. The CO catches them in the act. They which somebody was slipping because they should have known. Because the CO who ran up in there was the most bitch CO. I forget her name. If I knew it, I would call it out because she was such a bitch. This bitch was like 70 years old white bitch. A fucking old, grumpy ass bitch. Seriously. But yeah, she came in, hey, sent them both to the hole. You know what I mean? So sent the Mexican to the hole, the tat man, and they sent bro who touched down who was getting tatted. I'm gonna call him K. So now they're in the hole. And they take the Mexican's tat gun, all right? Now, if this happened on a 3-yard, riot. Riot, because first of all, why is the Mexican tatting the black? Second of all, the black didn't keep point like he was supposed to. Third of all, y'all got the black locked up and the Mexican locked up. Fourth of all, the tattoo is gone. The tattoo gun is gone. Fifth of all, the money is fucked up. You know what I mean? So these are situations where she can get real tricky, right? All right. So they get tickets. They get tickets for getting tattooed and shit. They take Mexican bro's tattoo gun and shit, and they let them out the hole like the next day. So now they back on the yard, right? Now word going on is, man, it's gonna be up, right? It's up. Because the blacks didn't do what they were supposed to do. The blacks didn't keep point, and they got the Chicanos fucking tattoo gun taken, and the money's fucked off. You dig what I'm saying? And it is a bad situation. So what happens is Kay, and you know what's crazy about this story? Kay and Shooter on the Streets, T, they're actually related. They're actually cousins. Just a side note. So they had a specific type of relationship. So bro come out from the hole. He confront bro. He like, hey man, what the hell's going on, man? You supposed to keep point. You feel me? You got me caught up. I got a ticket. I got a half-done tattoo. I'm looking all crazy. And now the other tattoo man, Dimmer, don't even want to do it again because he got to make another gun and I got to pay him all his money, right? To recompensate for it. He's like, bro, we need the heads up, bro. Like we need to catch it. Now, to be fair, T was a short, skinny ass little nigga, maybe 110 pounds or something. He needed to be working out. I used to tell him, like, bro, why you not on the yard working out, man? But he just a lazy dude, want to sleep all day, waking up, you know what I mean, right after count in the morning, like the 11 p.m. count or 10 p.m. I forget what it is. It's either 10 or 11. No, it's 10 p.m. 10 a.m. count, excuse me. But he just a lazy, sleepy ass nigga, man, and I didn't respect that, right? Long story short, he called him out for the one-on-one. He's like, bro, we gotta handle this, bro. Let's go to the mock closet, you feel what I'm saying? And dude, turn it down. Now, let me ask y'all this. In what world do we live in where you're on the streets, robbing people, shooting people, right? And he from Detroit too, so he told me about plenty of other skits he's done. Plenty of other robberies and shootings he's been involved with. Emptying out clips on niggas at the gas station, just crazy shit. I'm like, damn, is this real life? But when it's all said and done, when shit hits the fan and you didn't hold your end of the bargain from being a lookout man when your brother was getting tatted, now all of a sudden you tuck your tail. You tuck your tail, you don't take the one-on-one, and you look like a straight mark. So, now, he did end up, look, a situation did transpire after that, but I'm not going to get into that just because of certain reasons. But the point I'm trying to make to y'all, fellas, is that not everybody is who they seem, okay? Just because somebody's on the streets, robbing niggas, shooter, you know what I mean, maybe caught a body or something like that, Hey man, look, that's on the streets. Once you get behind the walls and there's no guns and there's just fists and maybe a knife you make, hey, that's when shit gets real, man. Because I've seen a few people turn down fades in the joint, which always blew my mind. Cause I'm like, damn, like, if you convicted off what you did and you really did it, your least worries is a one-on-one. I mean, what the fuck? It's just crazy. So you're a shooter on the streets, you're a robber on the streets, but in a joint, when you fuck up, you can't take a one-on-one. Now, granted, yeah, like I said, now Kane was bigger than him, but he was maybe only like 3 inches taller than him, but he was hella big, like as far as size. But still though, you a shooter, nigga. You robbed a motherfucker, shot him in the leg, you a shooter. Where's the fade? And you told me all these situations in Detroit where you've been involved in shootouts and all this shit. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this, fellas. Not everybody is who you think they are on the streets, all right? Just because he's a robber, a shooter, or he done got shot before, or something like that, you feel me, went to juvie before, that don't mean shit. Once you get behind the walls, you know, if he stand tall behind the walls and get down, okay, he one of them ones. But look, man, the majority of these cats, man, well, I don't want to say the majority, but a lot of these cats, bro, they not with it, bro. They really not about that. They really not. Even take rest in peace, BTB Savage, right? The way he was talking in Vlad interview, you would think he was a bona fide shooter on the streets. Come to find out, he was a whole military boy. And salute to, no disrespect, but you in the military, you a military nigga. Now I know military niggas go through a lot of shit too, but bro, you not no damn professional shooter on the streets, a hitman on the streets. But the way you talking in interviews will make you seem like you is, man. So yeah, y'all, it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be a regular guy. It's okay to have a 9 to 5. It's okay to have a regular career. You don't have to be a drug dealer, a shooter, a robber, a P. You don't gotta be none of that shit, man. Just be yourself, man.